Yo, so welcome to our first GT Sport video, guys. Now, hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. It took some time to get everything worked together. I do know the replay option. We'll try and work out how to get that out. But with that said, guys, this is the first race with the Logitech G29 steering wheel, okay? And it is the Monza racetrack. So, as you can see, we're starting off in 13th position, which is not the best qualifying time, but we're going to see what we can do, guys. So, there's some quick cars in this race. We are running in the Alexa by the look of it, I think it was. Right, okay, so we're going to be coming up to the line. Hopefully, we're not going to get wiped out in Death Chicane. The chicane number 1, guys. Followed into a second chicane, which is a little bit easier to get around than the first one. So here we go. I'm going to try and tuck up to the Spanish driver in front of us. Looks like he's in the Porsche 911. As you see, we really do catch the back end of that draft there. We're going free of bray down into the first corner. A little bit of contact, a little bit of nudging there, but we do take the nicest line that we can get. Now on the way out, we do clip the Porsche, but it doesn't really slow down our momentum, so we can keep going. Down, still in 13th, not really gained any positions. So we're going to do this long scooping right, and then we're going to tuck up as right as we can to the line by the look of it. Ready for this next chicane. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of action going on ahead of us. A lot of offs, a lot of penalties. There's a 4-second penalty there for one of those. Now, as you can see here, it's getting a little bit scrappy, so I try and take the outside line. Again, you'll see a replay of what's about to happen coming up in a second, guys. But we have this German driver go off, and then a whole heap of traffic just goes off behind us, guys. So it gives us a nice little breathing space for this long straight down here. As you can see, there goes the Ferrari, the Italian driver, off into the sandbag, and that gives us a move all the way up to 8th place. Now, we're obviously challenging for 7th. We're going to be on the outside coming into this next bend. He's not really giving me racing room, as you can see here. So we go a little bit early on the brakes, let him go all the way off. We could tell he was going to do that straight away. He went in way too fast. And just in that little chicane corner bit there, we're now up into 6th. Now, as we've got a very, very good run out this corner, we're going to follow the Aston Martin up the inside here. Just going to bump him past a little bit. Okay, but I noticed here that he's going to brake late. So we go for the near side. As you can see, we do him up the inside. Absolute beautiful move on the power. And that puts us into 4th, guys. So, rounding out the first lap, we've gone up about 8 places without doing maths very quick. But no, we've definitely gone up 9 places, which is great. Coming back down into Death Corner. Now, as you can see, the Aston Martin does get the draft on us, overtakes us in a straight line. We're not going to defend that. We're just going to take our normal line. We do have this other guy coming up the inside there, clips us. Also, the Aston Martin late braked as well, so we do manage to keep 4th. That corner. Now, I do know at this point here I need to separate that gap between me and 5th. So I've got to catch up to this 3rd place. As you can see, I keep checking a little bit behind me, make sure they're all good. I'm going to defend this corner a little bit because of these late lunges that people are having, so I go middle. As you can see, that's quite a good defensive line. A little bit slower in there. They they contact each other as well. A little bit of danger there, as you saw, hitting the ramp bit on the road there. So we're going to try and take this a little bit neater. We're going to try and catch up a little bit more now. As we look there behind us, we do have quite a good gap, developing about a 1.1 second gap now. So we're gonna floor out of here. Notice that 5th place had a penalty as well. It does give the German, the Belgium and the Italian chance to fight over that as well. So as you can see, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are now starting to separate from the pack. Now, as you can see, 1st, the Italian absolutely stormed this race. He was so quick, has already got a good lead over everyone else. Now, as we're coming around to finish the 2nd lap, guys, this is a 10-lap race with a 1 pit. You'll see when we take our pit. I can't remember what lap we actually pitted on, but I do know we should have maybe pitted a lap earlier, guys. So we're getting a little bit closer now to 3rd place. We are driving really, really well. Remember, this is the first time on the steering wheel, the first ever race on it, guys. So as you can see, we are doing very, very well. We are going to get better and better the more we get used to it. We're also in the GR3 group cards on this map, this track, sorry. And it's not a very good car to be learning the steering wheel in. But as you can see, now we have tucked up pretty close to the French guy in front of us. Next couple corners, we should be on him. Now, we're not close enough to make any sort of lunge or anything up the inside, outside here. So we're just going to go for the normal line. We don't need to defend either, so that does not hold us up. We are purely just gaining on these two here. They're not battling, so, you know, we're not gaining as quick as we could do. We have a little look back there. We're all good. As you can see, we take this line lovely there, and that really does line us up now to get into the slipstream on the straight here. We are close enough, I believe. No, we're not quite close enough to get into that slip, but if we late brake a little bit more, we'll be on the slip on the next straight, guys. So we've got this little long left and right, and then another left, and then we're onto the straight. We should have quite close to him here. We were taking these corners a lot better than him. On the way out, let's have a look how our exit is. There you go. We are close enough. Yeah, we're going to be gaining on this guy. Also, we were very, very quick on the last bend as well. I felt like we were the quickest on the track for that bend there. So as you see, we are into the braking zone now. We are on him. We've got a very, very good exit line coming out by the look of it. Yes, close enough to challenge down into Death Chicane number 1. Let's see how we take this. Now, he's driving a little bit more defensive. As you can see, he's sitting in the middle. Now, with the slipstream, we are catching him up. Almost hitting 170 before the braking zone. We go for a lunge up the inside here, braking on the 150 mark. As you can see, we overstepped the late brake, so that really does put us in a bad position. Now, are we going to drop another position here? We do. We go back to 5th. As you can see, a replay of what's just happened, guys. We late braked by literally a meter or so, and just that 1 meter puts us about 4 meters outside our braking zone. So we do lose a place to that there, guys. Now, as you can see here, we're going to have to try and work on this. We also use some of our tyre wear that we really don't want to use right now early on lap 4. But the tyres do look like they're holding out quite nicely. Now, this Viper was quite aggressive at the very start, so we're going to be keeping an eye on him. Again, we don't really need to worry about defending too much, I don't think. No, not too much. They're not close enough to do any danger to us, but if we do make a mistake, they are on us. So we still need to drive with a little bit of care, but we can still push ahead of what we're trying to do here. So as we're coming in to, I don't know the name of these corners, I will learn them. But Monza's a very challenging track, but it's a very, very good track to be racing on, very quick. You'll notice that my car is very, very quick in a straight line, but not as quick around the bends as the Aston Martin, where the Aston Martin's got very, very comfy in the bends, but not very quick on the straights. So we're coming out here, and as you can see there, just in that picture, that Porsche gets a little bit sideways, and now gives us time to just absolutely fly past him. I did expect him, because it's the daily race, to pull out in front of me there, so I went a little bit wider than what I would have done, but he doesn't. He races clean. He gives us that, which I like to see. So we're back into 4th again now. So as you can see, the Viper has got a penalty up ahead of us. Is it the Viper? One of those two have got a penalty up ahead of us. So we know we need to get close enough to make some sort of impact on that. Now, as you can see, a lot of people are starting to take their pit stops as well. We're halfway through the race, lap 5 out of 10. Our tyres are looking very, very good. Apart from that rear left, starting to take some wear now. So we're gonna try and nurse that maybe a little bit. But as you can see, they tangle there. And that gives us now 3rd position. Now, as you saw, he did try and block us, overtaking him, guys. And that is the problem with the race in the daily races. Now, I'm trying to drive to get my driver rating up, which we need to do. We've only been racing for about three and a half weeks on this game now. So, obviously, we've got a lot of learning to do and a lot of time to put into it. So, I don't think we're doing too bad for a very new becomer to the game. But we did purposely buy the PlayStation just for this game. So, we're going to be on this all the time now, learning the tracks. So as you can see here, we now got to shut that cushion between ourselves and second place. Now, don't think we got enough of a worry. Yeah, no, we got no worry with the guy behind us. Again, we know that he's kind of dirty, so he might late brake and probably wipe himself out and take himself out of the race. So we're just going to leave him to do that. And we're just going to race our best race at this point. As you see, coming through the bends now, we get a good line through. Got down to about 80, which I noticed about 91 is the pace you want to be through there. So I was a little bit slower than I normally would, but we're still extending that gap as we have a look back there from 4th place to ourselves. And there's not many times that we got this corner wrong, guys. We got this corner pretty much spot on most times. The acceleration of the power in the correct place is where we need to be. So as you can see, second place, the Italian. Both Italians have stayed out. So we are going to go an extra lap. Now, I did think about pitting on that lap. But because both of those stayed out, I thought, do you know what? We'll go again. Our tyres are in a very, very good state here, to be fair. I've not had tyres last me this long in the daily races, up to lap 6. So it was a good chance that we could go the entire race. I didn't know if it was, you know, you have to take one pit, or you obviously pit for the new tyres. But fuel-wise, we were good. So we're playing up the catch-up game now. Now, the first half of our race, I feel like it's gone a little bit better than the mid part of this race right now. Obviously, that one mistake of the lunge, you know, did cost us a little bit of time and a couple places. And I mean, it cost us about a lap. Now, as you can see there, the Dodge Viper takes a spin, guys. Now, that definitely means his tyres are a little bit more worn, especially being the Dodge with all the power in the back end. Those back left tyres probably going to be screaming for help. As you can see, we take up the second position now. And up to this sort of stage, it hasn't really been much bumper-to-bumper racing. We've kind of just, we've kind of had our own little gap, you know, 3 or 4 seconds either side of us. So we've not had much challenging, other than that first lap that was very, very active. We went from 13th up to 5th, was it, or 4th, just in the first lap. So that was very, very demanding to dodge all the traffic. It was more the collision. So as you can see the Italian just up ahead of us. Now, do we pit now, or do we go one more lap, was the thought as I was coming around this bend here. I obviously knew third position. He was going to pit. He had to. He was nursing that left rear tyre. We choose to stay out, as you can see, because of first place. If the Italian there pitted, I was going to pit. Now, as you can see, we're coming over the line, going into lap 7. So if we are going to pit, it's going to be this lap. As you can see, that back left now is starting to look a little bit faded. I know a lot of people, you know, would say that's good. But I could feel the car twitching. Now, I don't know if it's this set car with, like, the tyre, but I've had tyres a lot worse than that handle a lot better than this. Now, as you see a bit of debris in the road there. Try and dodge that. Now, we were thinking, I remember thinking this part, that if they go to a bray there, guys, one of them's going to hit it. It's going to slow them down, which is definitely going to give me that gap. Now, look at that gap that we have between ourselves and third position. Now, we're taking those S-bends a little bit slower than usual. As I said, the left side now is starting to feel like they're really under strain going through these corners. So I feel like we should pit this time. I can't remember if I did without spoiling it. But as you can see, first place is only just ahead of us. Now we need to focus on catching him. We don't need to worry about defending. As you can see, it's a very, very quick straight part here. Now, let's see if we hit amongst the 90 miles an hour through the corners. No, we actually dropped down to about 81, so we're 10 miles an hour slower through there. We get a good exit though, up to 110. And we're going to power down the straight here. Now, again, we have a nice little look back. We can't see them in our rear. We're looking good. So we're gonna think about going into the pits now. Just going to take this last corner here. As you go in, we go a little bit quick. And we scoop out to the right. We did have to ease off quite a bit. Now you can see we're tucking over to the white line. We're going to pit ourselves. And let's see where we can get out. Now we do have a good distance between ourselves and third. So there you go. We're pitting at the end of lap 7, going into lap 8 now. Now, as you can see over the top left there, we have been overtook. Okay, so we are now in third position. but we do have the fresh tyres, with that Dodge Viper having the 1 lap extra worn tyres. But at this moment in time, that will not make a difference. That would be lap 10 if that does come into consideration. And as you can see there, very unfortunately, we pick up a ½ second penalty. Now, that is for going on the curb without having a wheel touching the road. I don't feel like that was really the case, but I mean, we have to run with the penalty. There's no way of appealing that. So as you can see, we are now immediately under pressure, trying to catch this 3rd position, fresh tyres, but having a penalty. So here you go. We do have to take that penalty this lap as well. We're going to come around this next corner, this next right here, sharp right, and then we're going to be in the penalty box, guys, for ½ second. Now, it doesn't feel like a lot, but if you look here, we're really hard accelerating. We have to drop down to 3rd. We dropped 20 miles an hour. Now, on the space of this long straight, he's still building his speed up, and we're just starting to rebuild. So that ½ second really probably cost us about 2 or 3 seconds on the Italian in front. As you can see, we get a nice exit through there, but that distance now is starting to open up between 2nd and 3rd ourselves. So it's at this point now, we don't want to overcook it, because we are trying to keep a podium finish, guys, on our first race with the steering wheel. And as you can see here, you go, good line through, actually. That's a very, very good line through there, and we're coming over the finishing line for our 2nd to last lap. So, you know, we've got to put on some pressure now. Coming down into Def Chicane, and we late brake it to try and catch him up a little bit. Very slow through there, though. We were a bit timid then. I don't know why we went so slow on the exit out. That was my that's my lack of experience, I would say, on that racing line. Definitely a track we need to learn. As we come around here now, we're coming down into the 2nd chicane. Now, how close are we to this Viper? I don't feel like we're anywhere near, unless he gets a penalty now. I don't feel like we're anywhere near to take that 2nd position off him. So we do know he's had a few accidents, so he does overcook it. We're just going to try and race our best right now. As you can see, we take that racing line very, very well there, and we're going to take this one quite well as well. Could have gone a little bit quicker through there, to be fair, but a clean lap for us, no penalties, which is beautiful. Now, as you can see, the cars behind us are starting to catch us up now, which means that we are under the pressure going into the final lap by the look of it. As we go into this one braking, we went in about 81 miles an hour again, so that seemed to be our second half of the race. We were a lot slower through that long corner, and again, as you can see, we take up another ½ second penalty. Now, I'm not too sure why we got that one. Again, it's saying leaving the track, so I'm not sure I went that wide. I mean, I've gone wider without a penalty there, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. So that definitely does shut the door for 2nd place, unless, like I said, he makes a major mistake. Now, as you can see, we're coming over the line for the final lap, guys, with the Belgian and the French right behind us. Both good drivers. The French was a little bit dirty. Now we're going down into the Def Chicane for the final time of this race. As you can see, the Italians there just leaving the picture as we turn in. So we're going to try and avoid the debris, but the debris has been hit and moved already, so don't know who's hit that. Would have took some good damage to the car and definitely slowed them down. Now, as you can see, a lot of people left this race. I think we started with 19. So we've lost quite a few races during that time, but that just means less traffic on the track. As you see, we go through a little bit slow. Now, at this point, I'm thinking I've got a penalty. I need to defend for the podium. I would hate to lose this now for a podium finish just because I've overcooked it for no reason. So we're going to come around this corner again here, and we're going to be going into the penalty box. So, as you see, we're just going to go into the penalty box now. Like I said a few laps ago, it's going to take about 2.5 seconds from the start of the straight to the end of the straight, longer to get down there. So we are going to be possibly defending a little bit easier into these corners now. There's no one quite close to us. So as you see, yeah, we do drop down to 72 miles an hour, which is about 10 miles an hour slower than the average I've been going through, but obviously nearly 20 miles an hour slower through there than the first sort of laps. Now, as you can see, we are coming down to the very last straight and the very last corner. Hopefully, if we can get this right, which we should be able to just ease her through here. Tyres are not worn, no pressure, and this should be our first podium finish using the Logitech G29 wheel, guys, which I really do highly recommend. And as you can see, we do take the 3rd position, which was a fantastic race by us. Now, as you can see, the guy in first, the Italian in that Corvette, was absolutely rapid. Don't think he took any pit stops either, so he looked after his tyres really, really well. As you can see here, 2nd place as well, only just ahead of us. The French guy that was a little bit dirty from the start of the race, obviously coming in 4th, with the Belgian coming in 5th. Now, guys, if you enjoyed this this video, please don't forget, give it a massive likes up. Also, come and join us on Twitch. We live stream every single night, guys, and I'm going to be starting some championship races with viewers and you guys. Okay, so get yourself over there. I'll leave the links in the description below. But thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.